So, yo, we back to the amazing podcast, man. It's been a while, but we back, and we got a special guest here, the Djaydyn. Tell everybody about yourself.
Hey everyone, my name is Djaydyn Readus. I'm an author, a speaker, a singer, a writer, and listen, just everything in God. It's just about a bit about me. Yeah.
Tell us some of the things that you wrote
Okay.
about being an author. It's
So
interesting.
yeah. When I was 15 years old, a Lord had kind of laid on my heart to begin writing.
Mhm.
As time went on, I didn't know that I was going to progress into what is now my book, but put it on my heart and, of course, gave me the gift of writing. And ever since then, I had started writing just, like daily, I guess, journals,
Mhm.
routines, different things of that nature. And as it began on, of course, you go through the different trials and tribulations of life. And, you kind of have a story to tell.
Mhm.
And that, of course, went forward to become what is now my book on prayer time, which I published in January of 2023. Of course, it's been out for a little while. A lot of people have heard of it. Actually published in my last year of high school when I was a senior in high school. And of course, they took it,
Mhm.
several different
Yeah.
places. Just being that young and doing something of that nature. So, writing has definitely been major, major for me. I'm trying to get more into poetry, different things of that nature. I love poetry. I love spoken word. But writing it myself is probably my biggest thing for now. But writing just always been an amazing thing for me. Of course, God helped me use me in a way to where I can wrote this book, and it blessed so many people. Actually, just a few days ago, it's like I said, my book has been out for a little while, but actually a few days ago, I was at this event in Utica, Mississippi, and this
Mhm.
lady had came up to me. I talked about it a little bit on my story, but this lady had came up to me, and she was just looking at me. And I guess you would know, you kind of being in the public eye, when
Mhm.
people are looking at you, they either
Yeah.
know you from somewhere, seen you somewhere, or something is happening. But at the end of that program, when I was getting ready to exit, she came up to me and she said, "Are you him?" And I said, "Yes, my name is Jay." And then she said, "Oh my God, I heard you speaking at a conference that I went to where I had spoke at." And she went on to tell me that she had bought three of my books, one for her, one for herself, her niece, and for her pastor.
Mhm.
And I was just telling God, wow, it's still amazing to see that you're still, speaking to people through this book, even after all this time. But writing is just a blessing for me. It really is.
Okay. Writing your book. How did God guide you through the book, and what is your book about?
Okay. When I first began to write, when the Lord had first told me that He wanted me to turn this into a book, I asked Him that He guide me in the process of everything that I should write. I did not want any page to be something that I came with on my own.
Mhm.
I didn't want anything to not be ordained and or from Him. I feel like that's definitely the reason why I moved on people the way it did. Um, I was asking Him to guide me in every step I went through. Um, I went through, of course, you can imagine being in high school, you go through different type of changes. Friendship changes, relationship changes. You know, Being a senior in high school, you have big decisions that are
You
coming up,
do.
like
Yes.
college. Trying to make sure you got the finances together for college. Actually figuring out where you're gonna go is a
Mhm.
big thing. And I was actually just asking God to walk with me and help me through this process, and also give me a reason to write a page. I think the biggest thing about my book that I always emphasize is the grief process.
Mhm.
Through the telescope of time while I was writing my book, I had lost uh, two of my, immediate family members and two of my this bonus, as I call them, family members. I lost my grandmother, who was really my best friend,
Mhm.
um, and that's really what prompted me in the beginning. One of the other things that prompted me in the beginning to start writing, and then throughout that time around December, I lost my aunt. And the major portions of my book really speak to people that are going through the grief process. I began to kind of, even now, I'm kind of really just infatuated by the grief process. How the different shifts of it, how powerful it can be, how it can overtake some, and also others can use it for good. Um, but the gist of my book is about just how to make it through. The title of it is actually Prayer Time, Praying Through the Storms.
Mhm.
And like I said, going through high school, you just face so many different things, and you just really just don't know what to do in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
And then transition over into college, it even gets even worse.
It gets even worse. Yes.
So I think my book was just able, just for me. I tell people all the time, I don't have anything set for it. Like, it doesn't have one meaning purpose. Like, it speaks to you in whatever situation that you can be.
Mhm.
whatever I was going through, I wrote about it. And if you're going through the same thing or have you, it speaks to you. So I think for whatever, it just means so many different things to so many different people, just depending on what you're going through or where you are in your life. It speaks about heartbreak. It speaks about pain. It speaks about grief. It speaks about happiness.
Mm-hmm.
It speaks about prosperity. It speaks about success. It speaks about everything that I was going through in those or had, went through at those times. And it just speaks to whatever you are, wherever you are. So I never do try to label it with just one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just wherever you are, it'll speak to you. So I think that's probably one of my biggest things about it because you can't really just put a label on it. It just speaks to you wherever you are.
Where can we find this book at?
So it's actually it's at Amazon. It's in Barnes and Noble.
Okay.
It's on Kindle. It's in Walmart. I'm mixing one more. Arthur House Bookstore. And I'm sure it's in several other places right by now. I really just realized I just actually announced probably about 2 months ago that we got a contract with Walmart. So it's actually of course online in Walmart now. So that was major for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's those are the main places that you
Mm-hmm.
can find. And anywhere else online. It's in Amazon. I said that already. Amazon. I'm sure other retailers have picked it up.
Mm-hmm.
You go online, type in my name, or just prayer time, and it'll come on up, and you just see it.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. Did you ever see yourself growing up as a little kid? Oh, I'm gonna have an author. I'm gonna be an author and
Absolutely.
have a book.
Absolutely not. Especially not at the age I am.
Yeah.
In reality,
You
I thought I was gonna be.
you're not even with
I'm
20
not
yet.
even 20 yet.
This
I will be
man.
20 in April.
Oh
So I'll
man.
be celebrating my big 20th. But I always saw myself as a country boy. A lot of
Mhm.
people initially knew me from horses. Have always had
You
horses.
love horses.
Love them. I've always had them. Been a country boy at heart all my life. Riding, roping was a part of my life. Cows, all of the different types of stuff. So all I've been was a country boy, and I thought at that was time that's all I was ever gonna be was
Hmm.
a country boy. I was gonna get into agriculture, get into livestock. Selling cows, buying land, different things of that nature. But of course, the Lord had altered my journey, my path,
Hmm.
and took me into writing, and really took me into speaking a lot too. But I never thought that this was gonna be where I was, especially at the age I am now. Yeah.
Tell us about you speaking. What conferences and speaking engagements have you spoke
Oh
at?
wow, I've spoken. Most of the majority of the things I've spoken have been like churches. I
Okay.
love, love, love youth conferences. I've spoken at several youth conferences, especially in the area, well, around the community, Clinton,
Hmm.
Mississippi areas. The biggest I've been to is an event called Break Loose in Atlanta, Georgia, where I spoke to, I want to say, over probably 350 people, youth.
Yeah.
Um,
Was that nerve wracking?
I've always been nervous. And I don't ever think it'll ever go away. Honestly, it's like for me, and even when I'm singing, like before they call your name, like of
Hmm.
course, people always gonna read out your bio,
Hmm.
and before they call your name, you just sitting there like it just feels like I'm just gonna shut down. And as soon as they pass me the mic, as soon as I get up, everything goes away, and you just begin to flow. And I feel like it's just the anointing of God, but I'm always nervous, and I feel as though it kind of keeps you humble in a way.
Hmm.
Never want you to get your head to get too big, but nervousness is a little bit of thing. I'm trying to combat with it in a lot of ways, praying about it, asking God, remove nerves if needed. But I think it
Yeah.
also keeps me humble.
I, I saw something that said if you're nervous, that means you care.
Yeah,
So if you're nervous, that's a good thing. That
yeah.
means you're gonna be on your P's and
P's and
Q's
Q's.
and ready to handle what you need to
Yeah.
handle.
And then trying to get everything, just do your best. And not necessarily, do your best for God, do your best for you, and do your best for the people that, of course, are trying to hear you and, of course,
Hmm.
receive something from you. And
Okay. So when did you know God was speaking to you and telling you you need to write, be a songwriter, just speak for Him? When did you know you need to be that vessel for God?
so I was, my auntie Lydia, her name is Lydia Pace. She had instructed me one night to get a journal, like like a notebook or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and start writing things down. At first, I was kind of neglecting to do it at first because I never would. Right now, I hate writing because my hand, for whatever reason, starts to hurt for a little while. I guess after you writing so hard, your hands
Yeah.
start. Y'all know what that be like. But anyway, I got the book, and I just started writing, and the Lord had just had begun to reveal certain things to me about my writing, like the way I was writing, the words I would put together in such a rhythmic way. Um, and then I happened to get one of my friends to read it, and she just started busting out crying. She said, "I didn't know that you could speak to me in this way." She happened to be going through the initial stages of depression, and I
Mm-hmm.
spoke about. I was writing about making it through, just going through the darkness and making it through. It was a little bit
Mm-hmm.
about the darkness and the light. She just busted out crying. And I said, wow. And then, of course, I went to praying about God, what are you trying to show me in this experience? And the Lord began to tell me, I just need you to keep on writing. And then He shifted it in a way to where it was more so not just writing to write, but writing about what you've gone through,
Mm-hmm.
what you've seen, how you made it out. Um, flipping in a way to where it can help somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I've been doing ever since. And that's really that experience of her crying and busting out crying from that, what I had really showed me. And then, of course, me going back to get the confirmation from God really showed me that I was ready and I needed to write. And then to now see, like I was just telling about the lady, just to even now see how many souls it has blessed, even
Mm-hmm.
what has been 2 years later. It's amazing. So those are my initial signs. And
Mm-hmm.
ever since then, it's just been amazing. Blessings after blessings, people being, um, faith increase, strength increase, all these different type of things. Just God doing miraculous works through just what He
Yeah.
gave me to write.
Yeah, that's beautiful,
Yeah,
man. That's real
it's
beautiful.
amazing.
What are you planning to doing going forward with publishing another book? Are you planning on publishing another book? Are you making songs, songwriting? Like, what do you have?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
My next goal is, of course, to publish the next book. I want it to be um, I don't necessarily want to call it a memoir or anything of that nature, but something that's tailored specifically to my life and also talking about the success that I've achieved at such a young
Mm-hmm.
age. I want to be able to write it in a way, my next book will be written in a way to where it can motivate you, motivate anybody else to stick with it. Just keep on going, regardless of the different trials or tribulations, just keep on pushing through it. And through my life story, not only do I want people to learn about my life, but also be encouraged by my life and,
All
of
your
course, the
life.
things that I
Mm-hmm.
went through. So, I'm trying to do my best in getting further into singing. I've, of course, as y'all may have also have singing in choir since you was young.
Yeah,
That's just
yeah.
always a thing in the
I
black
wasn't
church.
good at singing, but I was good at rocking and clapping my hands.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie.
So,
Yeah.
singing has been a major part of my life. My sisters, great singers. So of
Mm-hmm.
course we kind of just grew up always singing and bouncing off of each other. But it has also been just a major thing for me. Also lately, just for me, for myself, singing. So I'm trying to dabble over into that, seeing what God wants to do with me on that end. But as of right now, I think the Lord is just moving me to speak and write. And soon I'm have gotten started in the process of writing my next book.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. I've always wanted to take my time with everything that God has given me, so I'm not sure when it'll be out, or what anticipated date or whatever. But writing this book and just trying to get into speaking more, of course, in a national way,
Yeah.
to different states, different cities, and just meeting people and just being as influential as I can in every state, around where God needs me to be.
Gotcha. Okay, well, tell everybody where they can. Any last words you want to say before we
Absolutely.
give us something?
I always say every time I end. I'm glad you asked me that. Every time I say this, every time I end, I always tell people all is well. There's a story in the Bible of a Shunammite woman. She had lost her child, and she said 3 words after all that heartbreak that she had went through. And she said, "All is well."
Hmm.
And I say that to people all the time because no matter what you go through, no matter what the circumstances look like, no matter if you think it's just all the way over, all is well. And the Bible also says, all things work together for the good of them who love the Lord. And if I could leave you with nothing else, just know that all is well, despite no matter what you go through, no matter what you have been through, it all will be well in the end.
And tell everybody where they can find you at, and find your book.
Okay.
Tell the people. Just tell the
Gotcha.
people.
Of course, like I said, my name is Djaydyn Readus. You can find me on Instagram at Djaydyn Readus, DJAYDYNREADUS. Facebook, same thing. I have a TikTok, same thing. My book, of course, like I said, Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, Walmart, and those are the main places that you better find it.
Mm-hmm.
And always connect with me. I appreciate it.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna put the links in everything.
Okay.
Make sure they can get in contact with you.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna get a book myself
I
and
appreciate
read it. And I appreciate you, man. It was a real good conversation, man.
I love what you do, man.
Man, I appreciate it, man. I'm just trying to
make a difference.
Make a difference and shine my light and try to inspire other people and bring people on like you to just come tell your story and everything as well. So this was very good, and I appreciate you. And make sure y'all keep y'all heads up.
Yes.
And your attitudes down,
That's
man.
Good.
Hey, I appreciate you, man.
Hey, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. Hey, peace.